okay, I'm getting paid to go out and fly a really cool airplane, and then I get to teach this student how to fly a really cool airplane as well. And it really is an exciting, awesome job.
I think we have a fantastic instructor corps here, and it's made up of really the best of the best that the nations can provide. And when I think of these NATO countries and how important it is to many of them to develop strong ties with the United States, they're picking their high potential officers from the get-go.
The working hours that actually the line IPs go through, it's pretty extensive. I mean, we're talking about an average of about, 10 hours, maybe sometimes even more, and that's also for the students.
The instructors that I look up to the most they carry traits that I would hope to embody myself someday. That willingness to teach, the enthusiasm that they bring each and every single day. That says a lot about a person when they can do their job with enthusiasm, as well as just being encouraging to others, whether they know it or not.
For every instructor pilot at ENJJP, there's a different reason for enjoying the assignment.
Being an instructor pilot here in ENJJP, I like the international community, of course, the opportunity to fly with all different countries, as well with training our own students, our own Dutch students, to become fighter pilots in the near future.
What I enjoy about being IP is you get these guys in, you're flying with them initially, and they're throwing up.
As they transition into the T-38, it doesn't take Class 1407 long to figure out that the journey to becoming NATO air warriors just speeded up.
The transition for them, the obstacles they have to overcome, I think, are basically getting used to high speed and a different kind of airframe that they're flying. The T-6 is it's a thick wing aircraft, and the T-38 is very thin wing and high speeds. So the difference they're going to have to adjust to is the speed and the little amount of fuel that actually is available. So time, efficiency, and
T-6 was stressful because we were learning how to fly, and that was half the battle with that aircraft. But coming to 38, basically know how to fly, basic aircraft control, stuff like that. I think the aircraft is a lot easier to fly.
It was a definite transition of mindsets from learning how to be a pilot and fly airplanes to learning how to fly an airplane, specifically a fighter type aircraft. So the mindset was really the big change.
Switching from the T-6 to the T-38 is a huge shock. You go from doing two-ship tactical low level in the T-6 and you're feeling pretty good about yourself, and then you go into the T-38 and your first takeoff at full AB it's pretty eye-opening. The pace at which everything happens is so much faster.
I mean, the biggest difference is it's fast. That's kind of like the first kick in the pants is, and the T-6 you could kind of fall behind a little bit, and the IP could kind of coax you along the way for you to catch up and find out what mistakes you're flying, doing while you're flying. T-38, you fall behind right away. There's no catching up. You need to be ahead of the jet, thinking ahead what you're going to do next. And so that was the big eye-opener. And when transitioning to 38, so everything moves twice as fast.
After making the initial adjustments to flying the T-38, the students once again find themselves soloing.
As a class as a whole, they're progressing. We've had one solo so far, and although things could have gone better on that one, he did the right procedures to correct the deviations that he had. They're coming along nicely. They're showing a good learning curve, making it happen.
I was really excited, really nervous. I wasn't scared until I took off and I realized I had one of the aircraft with the new tension springs installed in the stick. So I thought I had a flight control malfunction initially, which was a little scary. But it was one of the best feelings I've ever had, getting out to the area, flying by myself, and bringing the jet back safe.
When you solo the T-38, that's the biggest thing that I've done in pilot training, right? Because it is a jet that you have to really respect, and if you don't respect it, you can kill yourself very easily. And to land and have successfully accomplished a mission, whether it's with an IP or especially solo, is a great feeling.
For some of the students, the road to becoming a military pilot is not being traveled alone on the home front.
So having my wife here is a big help for me. I feel like she supports me a lot. Just during a normal day, having her at home, helping with every general stuff I have to do at home. And then just, of course, having her as a support for tough days. If you go home and you feel like you had a bad ride, it's nice to have someone to talk with about it.
It's nice to see that he's working hard to accomplish his goals. At the same time, I sometimes wish that I could take a nap and take that power to him that I get from the nap, because he could really need some extra sleep. But I think he's so determined to just do this the best he can. So seeing him doing that, it's just makes me happy.
As the students get closer to the end of the T-38 phase, the natural inclination to look ahead creeps in.
Possibly going to a new aircraft. I mean, there's always unknowns, which is exciting. I'm definitely excited to get out of the training environment, even though the follow-on assignment will be more training, but definitely get back in the CAF. I'm definitely looking forward to that. Getting back to the squadron and getting to travel the world and just doing the mission that you want to do, instead of getting instructors barking at you all day.
So it's always in the back of your head. Your assignment night's really big, and it can control your career for the rest of your life, or at least a little doorway into other careers for you, or other aircraft you could fly. But I still think the main goal here is to get the wings on your chest. I mean, no matter what airframe that you get, getting those wings on your chest is what we came here for.
And it's hard to say where after 10 years, when our commitment's over and we start looking to go on to other things, like, it's hard to really say where I'm going to be at, because there's a part of me that would love to go out and be a weapons school guy, or maybe try to go to TPS, or try to be a squadron commander, or maybe you realize, hey, I love flying and all I want to do is stay in the cockpit. So I guess all those options have an appeal to me, and it's probably going to take a little bit of time actually in a real, active duty aircraft to figure out where your heart really lies.
Assignment night has a theme, and we came down to either the not Academy Award night, because there's no Academy students in our class, or the Summer X Games. And we all voted on that. The majority of the class decided that Summer X Games is what we wanted. It wasn't until after we decided that there seemed to be a little bit of confusion from the Italians, and I think it's because they didn't have any idea what the X Games was and what they were going to dress up as.
Although the students put in a dream sheet ranking their career airframe preferences, that is just but one step in the process of aircraft assignment.
The process begins about 3 weeks before drop night, when we have to give a list of our students to Air Education and Training Command. Once we have the Order of Merit, we start with the top person for Order of Merit, and we give them the top choice of the available aircraft for us. We go down the list until the last person is assigned their aircraft.
Once students have been assigned an aircraft, their mindsets quickly start taking shape.
It's kind of an exciting time. There's a lot of anxiety and tension and excitement leading up to assignment night. And then there's certainly some relief for some and excitement for some as well, as they now have an idea of what they're going to do the rest of their career.
In almost every class, a student is selected for first assignment instructor pilot duty. In Class 1407, Second Lieutenant Jordan Ziegler gets the call to join the Fate Mafia.
I think Ziegler will be a great Fate, so we're really excited to bring him on board as one of ours and kind of show him the ropes of being an instructor. So I think he's got the attitude and maturity and the ability to be a great first assignment instructor pilot here at ENJJPT.
I'll have to go to PIT, and PIT I believe is about 6 months long, and then I'll jump right into flight and start instructing for 3 years.
You're sloth.
Definitely a night that I'll never forget.
Wow, nice dismount.
Just for a split second there, it was just pure bliss. I feel like I was on cloud nine. It's a great, great feeling.
When they graduate from this program with those wings, some of them, within months, could be flying combat operations.
I think he's always had this goal in his mind since he was just a little boy. He's always had this want to progress and to do good in anything that he tried to do, and he was very good at it.
And fully appreciate it, understand what guys and girls go through to get their wings on their jets, you can't unless you do it yourself.
It was fantastic. I'm so proud, and it was neat because it came following his dad. So it was just special, very special.
Oh, we're very proud because Greg has now become the third generation of Mermac Air Force pilots. My father was an Air Force pilot, I was, and now my son is, so we're very proud of him.
Now that Class 1407 has graduated from flight school, the training continues with IFF, or Introduction to Fighter Fundamentals.
You walk around, you're a little more confident. You had graduated UPT, you have your wings on your chest. So you're a little bit more excited and anxious to go ahead and get started on IFF.
IFF basically is the follow-on from the UPT. What they've learned in UPT is kind of basic aircraft control, instrument flying, basic flying, flying a fast jet. What comes down to IFF is the introduction to fighter fundamentals. So now they're going to use that airplane kind of as a weapon. So air-to-air engagement, air-to-air fights, and air-to-ground engagements as bombing targets. So that's the big difference between basic flying and now using it as a weapon.
Historically, IFF was set up in the 70s because there was a big washout rate in the formal training units for F-4s and follow-on fighters. So the Air Force said we need some sort of lead-in training so that the expense can be saved of doing all the initial sorties in those F-4s and learning to do complicated tactical maneuvering like dogfighting and surface attack. And they needed it in something cheaper, so they moved it towards a trainer aircraft. And they called that lead-in to fighter training. It's called LIFT, and it's evolved into IFF, what it is today, which is essentially teaching those basic fighting maneuvers, surface attack, in a trainer aircraft that they're familiar with. So now we can just evolve the training to the more complicated tactical maneuvering.
The training never stops at ENJJPT for these newly pinned pilots as they move on to their selected airplanes and their future flying assignments in the Air Force.
They expect from us to be good pilots already, and they focus on weapon employment, on being a good wingman, etc. So you get to know the basics, and they will teach you the specifics about the fighter pilots.
The training never stops. This is just one more roadblock prior to getting into my F-15. From here, I immediately PCS out to Glendon Falls, Oregon to go fly the F-15. And from there, I have my 7-month to 8-month B course. And then from there, once you're technically initially qualified in the F-15, then I'll go to my first duty station, which at that point, I'm still not mission qualified. And from that day, I'll continue to train at my first duty station until I am considered mission qualified. And then there's different progressions that you make throughout your career. So the training never stops, not for a fighter pilot.
What's in store for these young pilots? We'll just have to wait and see. Good luck, ENJJPT Class 1407, and congratulations.